The subject today is how to make strategic decisions. Very important. Even decision making is important and it is difficult, but how to make strategic decisions which have a long term goal is even more important. Now, with what we'll also think and see and understand what is strategic thinking. Strategic thinking is a critical process used to plan and achieve long term goals, not short term goals, by considering the bigger picture and the interplay of various factors. It involves anticipating future challenges and opportunities, making informed decisions and aligning resources to achieve the desired outcome, because resources also becomes a constraint sometimes. Now, first of all, we must have a vision, a clear and compelling picture of what the organization or individual, we as individuals also, aspire to achieve in the future. What it does, it provides direction and motivation. Now, then we must also write down, not only think, write down the specific measurable targets that help to achieve the vision. What is our vision? A compelling picture of the organization or individuals, what we aspire to achieve. So, environmental scanning. What is that? We must know what is going on in the market around us because we are a part of the scenario. So, monitoring internal and external environmental to identify trends, opportunities, and threats. Now, when I say internal for individual, that means what you have been doing, what you are glad that you have been doing, what you think your habits needs improvement, that you have to identify. SWOT analysis is further to go into that. Now, then comes scenario planning, developing multiple plausible future scenarios, not one, but multiple. It enhances flexibility as well as adaptability. Things are changing so fast. We cannot be rigid at all. Resource allocation, as I have earlier said, resources should not be constrained and we should think, we should decide, we should plan only according to our resources available. Strategic association execution, what does it mean? Implementing strategies through action plans and monitoring progress, both implementing and monitoring progress. Now that are translated into results, and now we talk about holistic perspective. Think in terms of whole system, understanding how different parts interact and influence each other. Anticipate future trends, challenges, opportunities. It's not just a plan. It's first of all strategic thinking and then taking strategic decisions. Analytical and critical thinking. Yes, we must analyze with the data available what we have to do. The analysis is equally important, and so is creativity. The leaders have to be creative, but I think in our domain, everybody has to be creative. Everybody should bring out the leader in him or her. We are be prepared to adjust strategies in response to the changing circumstances and feedback. Feedback is also something which we should ensure we get. We should get honest feedback. Often it's difficult, but if we definitely try, we there is no reason why we should not get the feedback. And feedback corrects us, corrects us wherever we deviate, wherever we differ from the path which we ought to adopt. Now, mentorship and networking. Oftentimes, individual feels there are problems which, in spite of his best efforts, he cannot choose between the various alternatives available. It is there that mentorship and networking help. Today, everyone of every age must have a mentor. Now, mentors are those who are not connected with your organization, who are not connected, who are not related to you, but they are your well wishers. And if you network with them, so they will know you and you will know them. And it's a continuous learning process. Reflective practice is meditation. Reflect on what you are doing. Mindfulness, practice mindfulness, practice being aware of what you are doing. Now, developing competitive strategies, as we talked about earlier, what is competition in the market? Now, if you are in a particular space, you have to check which are the other parties, which are the leaders, which are the back people who are at the same level as you are. So then you have to decide, because this is not just thinking, this is not just uh, uh, seeing what is going on, but it is strategic. Strategic means it is going to have long term influences. So the responsibility is much more. Now, how to make strategic decisions? We have talked about strategic thinking, but how to make strategic decisions? What is the strategic decision process? Follow the process. Because if you follow the process, it's like a template, so you'll not have problems. Now, first of all, you have to identify what is the problem. Identify the problem, recognize and clearly define the problem, or the opportunity. Opportunity also. Opportunity, it requires a strategic decision, whether it is a problem or an opportunity. You have to have long term strategic decision. This involves in understanding the context and the scope of the issue. What actually is the issue which you are going to think about and talk? Environmental analysis, what is going on in the people in the environment around you, politically, economically, uh, professionally, even technology wise. These are all important. For example, I have gathering and analyzing information from the external environment, including market trends, competition, regulatory landscape, and economic conditions. There are various kinds of tools available which you can find out on the net. You can use tools will only ease your problems. Then internal analysis, assessing the organization's internal resources, capabilities, and core competencies. After all, we cannot be unrelated with our own self. When I am saying our own self, the organization also is a kind of entity, and we must understand the organization's resources, technology, organization culture, all. Then you have to set objectives. You have already identified the problem. You are looking around, seeing the environment outside as well as within the organization. Then set the objectives, generate generate various alternatives. After all, whether it is opportunity or a problem, there'll be many alternatives which you can surely identify, note down, provided you reflect on it. Then, next step is whatever alternatives you have found, you evaluate them, because ultimately you have to find out one. Ultimately, you have to zero down on one which you will uh, undertake, which you will undertake to go ahead. Then making the decision, choosing the best alternative. You have already have alternative, taking into consideration various factors like resources, factors like internal uh, atmosphere or external environment, everything. Implementation, developing a detailed action plan to execute the chosen strategy. Ultimately, it is not only thinking, it is not only planning, it is putting the plan into action. So that also includes assigning responsibilities. That means if you have a team, you have to delegate responsibilities, assigning resources, and setting timeline. Your goals should always be smart, specific, measurable, realistic, and achievable, and time bound. It's very important. Review and feedback, often it is ignored, whereas review by others, by yourself, and feedback of others is very important. Now, next point I'll come to, it is how to be decisive. Indecision is a bane of life, but oftentimes we are afflicted with indecision. We do not know, we are not able to make a choice whether I go this way or that way, right or left. And if there is an opportunity, whether I accept it, if I am afflicted with poor salary, whether I go ahead and change or not take the risk. So these are all things which are important to be decisive. To be decisive, if you take a paper and write down pros and cons of a possibility, it will be easier for you to decide. Identify your goals, identify your objectives. It goes with everything. Whatever you do, you must identify and then prioritize. What are the priorities? What are the things which you want first? List pros and cons on both the sides, I have already said. So trust your intuition. I can assure you, if you keep on following this template, you will develop a gut feeling. A gut feeling will definitely give you uh, power. Yes, you can think, and your instinct says right. It can go wrong sometimes, but it will encourage you to take a calculated risk, because no risk is the biggest risk in life. No risk is the biggest risk in life. Never try to be absolutely safe. No, some risk you have to take. Set a deadline for everything. For taking decision also, set a deadline. Set time frame. I must take decision by tomorrow, by day after tomorrow, or whatever. Then, if there are many alternatives, you have to limit the options, because too many choices will be overwhelming. Limit the option, narrow down the options to the most viable one. When you contemplate on each of the options, you can definitely decide which one is better than the other. Take action once you made a decision, commit to it and follow through. Then don't think whether it is right or not. Don't think whether I should get ahead or not. You have already done the work which required, so then go ahead. But as I mentioned earlier, you have to be flexible because circum- circumstances are changing, and always expect the unexpected, where technology is very moving very fast and certain things are becoming redundant overnight. For example, once this tape recorder tapes were being used, suddenly it was replaced by the discs. Suddenly it was replaced by your various other options. Various other options, including you can take data online. Yes, build confidence. Small decisions, if you keep on taking, your confidence will be built. If you avoid taking small decisions, you will stay where you are. Positive affirmation is very good. If you have not read The Secret by Rhonda, I would suggest read that. That is all about positivity. Many of people that I know, they said that Rhonda's this The Secret has changed our life. It's very nice. Stay calm, manage stress. Patience is very good. Patience and gratitude. If you are grateful for whatever you have, focus on what you have. Focus on gratitude rather than thinking that I don't have that big car, I do not have huge house, and I do not have a villa in Goa. No, first of all, you should be grateful what you have, and then, as I said, take decisions. It's to be ambitious is not bad, but to you can't build castles in the air. You can't think that I'll just think and I'll have it. You have to work for it. And that should be supported by your positive affirmations, for which I recommended this book by Rhonda. Now, which are the factors taken into considerations for making critical strategic decisions? What are the factors? Organizational vision and mission. If it is an organization, yes, you have to take into account the vision and mission. Now, the vision is overall, mission is what you have to do at a particular time. Core competency and resources. You must know the organization's strengths, unique skills, and technologies, and where it is a development need. Organizational culture is also important, whether the decision supports the conflict or conflicts with it. So, next we come to risk tolerance. Determine the organization's willingness and ability to take risk, and your ability also. But your ability, individual ability, I said, keep calculated risk, keep on increasing and developing your gut feeling. Operational efficiency is evaluated by current processes and systems in place and their ability to support the new strategy. Now, this is about the internal factors. What about the external factors? Market trends, we have talked about it. Economic environment, we must know what is going on, what is inflation, what are the interest rates, what are the economic growth, because these should also be considered when you are considering strategic decisions. Otherwise, you'll be aloof, you'll be unrelated to these important factors. competitive landscape also, you should see what competition is doing, what others are doing in the same space, because that will only make you that make you strong enough to fight competition. And it is a competitive world. We have to fight competition everywhere, not a place there where there is no competition. Then there are legal and regulatory authority environment which you must know, otherwise one slip in this area also creates a big problem. Technological changes, we find we find technology is moving very fast at a very fast pace, and we must be abreast. I don't say we should be expert in technology, but we must be abreast with what is going on in the technological field, so that we are not absolutely left behind. Latest is alternative intelligence. Though alternative intelligence will never be able to replace the human mind, according to me, yet it is a big tool. It is a tool to help you in almost any field, whether it is medical field, engineering field, or even authors. Everyone can and should use this. So, sort political, economical, social, yes, and balance. These are the uh, few facilities available. There are some applications available. Now, why it is necessary to stay positive in challenging situations? I would say it is necessary to stay positive in all situations. If you are not staying positive, you are losing out. Any one moment, if you are missing, any one moment, if you are brooding without any purpose, you are wasting. Procrastination or idle thinking has absolutely no place in today's world. So, resilience, you must understand when you are doing something, hurdles will come, you are likely to fail, you are likely to fall, but you must have resilience. So, if you stay positive, only then you will have resilience. Only then you will not give up. Otherwise, you will give up. Mental health, maintaining mental health positivity is required. If you are not positive, you can definitely, if you keep on dwelling on negative thoughts, you can never have a good mental health ability, which gives you ability to solve problem solving abilities, giving all the alternatives as we have discussed above, giving innovative ways and solutions. So that can happen only if you remain very positive. Now, positivity also will ensure that you remain enthusiastic and motivated. Now, when you are enthusiastic, when you are motivated, you will surely ensure that your relationship with people around is also on the rise. So these are some of the, and in any case, we have to depend for our larger success on others. And if others are having a positive attitude towards you, you are the winner. So these are some of the things that we have to take care now. What are the best books available? I just you can find out on the net, but I would like to say there are a few books which which I have found out. Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. I have not read this book, but I have read a review. Very nice book. Then there is Nudge. Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness. It is by Richard H. Thaler. Then, if anyone has read this book, please let me know. I'll pull you up on the in the speakers panel very shortly. Then, Paradox of Choice. Why More is Less. Very nice book. So, but you can find book of your choice on the net. Now, I would like that whatever questions you have or whatever additions you want to make, please come forward and let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion to understand and assimilate the subject thoroughly. Yes, Ms. Mirjana, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Satish. This was the wonderful training for me. Just one correction. It
Yes,
was around artificial intelligence, not alternative intelligence, like you said. Maybe you said it with intention.
yeah, unintentional. Yes,
Thank you very much. And I heard for um, some of books you mentioned, especially Paradox of Choice.
you have read.
No, but I know about that book. For me, it's a way of living here in Serbia. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes, Mr. Amit. Would you like to throw some light on this, on the subject? Are you there, Amit? Yes, Anjan Banerjee, please come.
Mr. Amit raised his hand also, and Mr. Anjan.
Yes, Amit. Where is Amit? Is gone. Yes, Anjan, please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I came late. I know the time is finished, but I just said, yeah,
Not at
since
all.
you, yes, sir, you mentioned, I just have one point very briefly.
Yes,
I have to my credit startups in countries from zero, and whenever I left, they were always over 10 million
very
and more.
good.
Yeah, the thing is, this strategy is not as per the bookish knowledge. The culture, the history, these are two very important parts which play in any country for your marketing rights or for your startups. And
Yes,
these form, in my opinion, which I teach overseas to management schools students, that these are two of the most vital methodology that one must adopt. And the latest marketing technique is to be blended with that. So that's my small little contribution. I admire all that you do, sir. And
bad. Yes,
Mr.
you are right.
Satish,
Yes,
interruption. Can
not
I
at all.
try to answer?
Please.
Mr. Anyan talked about startups. It's a short term strategy, and we were talking about long term strategies here on this event. There is a difference between two approaches.
So, yes, strategic thinking and strategic decision making is surely a long term strategy, but you will agree with me when you start up, when it's a startup, it has to move ahead. It doesn't have to remain here. As he said, he is credited with so many startups who have done very well eventually. Yes, Himanshu, just a minute. Give me
Mr.
1 minute.
Satish, in product management, there is a difference between product on early stage and product which is mature. So when you are in the first stage, you focus on expansion, it's growth
Yes.
management. That is what Mr. Anjan was talking about. And that is true, but it is just achieving first goals.
Yeah.
Uh,
Welcome. Yes, Himanshu ji, boliye.
yeah, I would like to add one more point. When we talk of the startup, it is not just a strategic thinking. It include a strategic thinking plus it require a creativity. It is a combination of art and science. It is not just pure science. And at what is the speed, how you get the things done at limited resource, how quickly you do it, that's another part of it. So long term, short term, everything, and there you have to steer on everyday basis. You cannot just have a long term strategic plan. You may start with a toilet paper plan, and then you may end up with a mobile phone like which Nokia did. So you never know how it would shape up.
I couldn't agree with you more. Things are changing so fast that we have to be alert and alive. Environments around, and I would say even our thinking also, it has to be in line with what is happening around. So that also changes. Anjan, you have something to say on this?
Nothing, sir, nothing. This young man has a point. Obviously, you are not inducted by a multinational to any country without, first I asked always for a free hand because of my experience overseas, 80% of my life.
Hmm.
Nobody doubted my caliber. I tried from hiring, getting the first import orders, and thereafter. Absolutely correct. We have to start somewhere. But I find that when you fine tune the dynamics of the marketing, have to keep this very feature very much in your mind, sir. So that's my little humble suggestion. Since I came in late, I didn't want to intervene. But however, I felt that this was a valid point. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anything else, Mirjana, you like to say? Because normally we go up to
Uh,
10:45, but today, fortunately, it is 10:38, 39 now.
if you start with startup and you have a long-term goal and you have enough knowledge and resources and money for it, you can. It is possible to set up organization in a way that it is not overwhelming when you need to switch from one decision to the another one in order to keep moving through the process